What is Dark and Darker? It's a dying game with one of the worst dev teams on the planet. Also, SDF is a bitch.
I think Dark and Darker might die in like 2026 because, and the reason I say this is because all of it lies on next wipe, right? Next wipe is like everything. Everything has to be goddamn perfect. Next wipe, right? It has to be fucking perfect, and it's just not going to be.
How many people on the TUS server? This is good. How many people are TUS in this or not? These might, I mean, these could be the actual numbers if this patch goes through, I can't lie.
Any constructive thoughts, or is it GG? It's GG. Yeah. I don't like it. I don't like having like a semi-emotional attachment to shit like this, but yeah, it's sad. It's sad to see.
Looks cleared. It's a bold strategy. A brazen strategy, some may claim. Crossbowman. Oh yeah. You use your lockpick on a golden chest on the first floor of the crypts, though. That's the real question. It is a golden chest. Slow as fuck. Oh, dude, I didn't even set up my spells. Yeah, I don't really need Holy Light. Oops. And our SSF is off to a great start. Hello, everybody. It's zeplore here, and long time no see. Today I want to discuss where I've been, why I've been gone, and what the future holds for my channel. So, first off, where I've been. Since May, since SDF fully removed solos and duos from the game and made it trios only, I definitely just straight up flat out quit the game. I felt disrespected as a longtime line holder, and I no longer had love for the game. I don't have ads, I don't have money set up on YouTube. Here you can see, earn on YouTube. Step 3, get reviewed. I actually just started this today. I was like, alright, let me just try it, see what happens. Yeah, step 2 in progress. Step 3 has not yet started. None of my uploads have ever been monetized. I didn't really have a desire to do that. I don't know, it's never dawned on me. It was never like a need to have a decent job. So, and you know, I purely was a hobbyist and did it for fun and had a great time doing it because I loved the game. So naturally, the game turned shit. My love for the game dwindled, and I had no desire to make content nor play the game. So that's where I've been. I think the game has been in a steady decline since the release of the Druid class. Some of the changes here and there just, you know, it don't make sense from a developmental standpoint. However, I do think things are taking a turn for the better, or else I would not be making this video. So the semi-wipe has been going really good, and it's been actually quite an enjoyable experience. They reverted some of the questionable changes in gear, mainly for the most part, kind of reflects the gear and the stats that were available during Season 5, or wipe number 5. The game is really enjoyable. I've come back after, you know, 3-4 months of not playing again, and a bit rusty, but I've been having a lot of fun. Been playing Smite Judge Cleric and some Bach spells Warlock for the most part, and you know, doing some of the good old classic zeplore builds, and having a good time, man. It's just, you know, the honest truth, and I think there's a future where Dark and Darker can definitely survive, but they need to release a few more patches that you know, solid patches that, you know, can contribute steps forward to its development without any steps backward, because that's the problem with this game. It seems like whenever there's a good idea or a good innovation, a good implementation into the game, there's always some kind of negative caveat attached to the same patch. Like, you know, they'll do something like, you know, consolidate matchmaking, but at the same time, like, Barbarian or something. It's like, dude, what are you doing? But anyways, I digress. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun, and, you know, there's been a lot of doom and gloom about SDF and IRONMACE, and just the game in general, especially the player count has been around 3,000 to 4,000-ish total, like, the last 2 months, hovering around there. But with the semi-wipe, I did see we got up to like 10,000, a little above 10,000 was our all-time high during the semi-wipe, I believe. That's definitely a good, you know, good sign of, you know, the health improving of the game. You know, people are coming back to a semi-wipe that's only 4 weeks long to play it and enjoy the game, yeah, which is awesome. One thing I do want to talk about that's really interesting is that Dark and Darker recently submitted a community post, and this is the first post I can think of in over a year and a half that has actually garnered more heart reactions than clown emoji reactions, which is honestly a fantastic sign that the world is healing. And what it is Grayson made this post, and it's saying that, you know, people can design their own artifact, and the winner of the first place of the best artifact is voted on by the community, and is voted on by IRONMACE, that will be featured in the game. Unfortunately, IRONMACE has the final vote and rules of the minor artifact in game. The community doesn't. But first place of the community gets 15 redstone shards and a signed t-shirt. I still think that's super cool. See, this is the kind of stuff that a community manager should be doing. This is like the first like awesome thing I've seen from Grayson, other than like reporting news, or like advertising like 1 or 2 of Soapy's tournaments. This is probably the best and coolest community manager thing that I've seen from Grayson so far. And, you know, that's a good thing. We need more stuff like this, and less of stuff like the weird like conversations between him and Jay Griffey were having a few months ago. If you've seen that, you know what I'm talking about. But as long as we get a few more patches that are kind of in the right direction and, you know, follow the semi wipe and just, you know, with the water map wipe with the new patch, we might get something that looks really promising and it's really fun, you know. My goal is hopefully to see ideally at least 15,000 combined in dungeon and in lobby on day one of wipe. It'd be awesome if we got 20k plus combined, but you know, I feel like if we get at least 15k combined on the actual wipe day with the water map, that's a good sign of things to come. I feel like if we only get like 10k combined for as much hype as the water map has, you know, conjured, and you know, as much as it's been pushed back and people are looking forward to this, people want content. We really need to see above 10k, like for the survival longevity of the game. I feel like 15k, you know, is ideal, but 20k is like really good. But I think above 15k is definitely promising and bodes well for IRONMACE's future. Naturally, you know, when SDF brought back solos and brought back gear, I was inclined to play the game again. I don't want to play a game where the gear means nothing, and then also I have forced to either 1v3 or forced to play 3v3 with strangers. It just, you know, it's not something I enjoy. It's not something that's fun. When I log into the game, I want to be able to do whatever I want to do at my own leisure, and just, you know, have my own personal sovereignty over where I'm going, what I'm looting, what I'm killing, what position I'm putting myself into. And that's why I played mainly solos, you know, and because, you know, the few times I do stream, I do like the chat interaction. I don't, you know, I think, you know, I do like enjoying playing with other people from here time to time, even on stream. I just, you know, I do recognize that it takes away from my interaction with the chat, and that's, you know, the main reason why I stream. Otherwise, you know, I'd just be playing the game without streaming. So I'm curious to see if the DLC pack, the paid DLC, will be advertised and exist for the water map wipe, because obviously they stand to gain a bunch of money if they do have that. But, you know, at the cost of the general population's opinion of them will, you know, decrease and be tampered with. So it's definitely a scales of balance there that need to be adjusted and looked at. You know, you got to make some money, but at the same time, you don't want to piss everybody off, you know, and just make it like blatantly pay to win, because it was blatantly pay to win. You got like 5 gold coin bags, a whole new stash tab that's shared, and amongst a few other things, you know. I think the biggest burn that this game has done to its community and player base is removing solos and duos and making it, trying to force trios only, when there's so many, like, I would argue a majority of the long-time line holders and people that spend an exorbitant amount of money on this game tend to lean more towards solos or even duos than trios. I don't know, that's just me. As someone who bought like both coffee bundles, the $50 version of the game that gets nothing extra, etc., I do feel like, you know, I was snubbed and disrespected. I will say there should be maybe some kind of gear bracket just for norms, but I don't know. Gear's so easy to get now. Like, I understand the struggle of somebody playing norms and they're getting rolled by some asshole who's in like full legendaries and normals, because that asshole should be playing high roller. Let's admit it, but they just don't, because I think a majority of people play norms for PvP because it's easier, because the PvE is much less mature and less of a hazard. Maybe some kind of, like, if you got a square lobbies for norms versus uncapped for norms even, I don't know. I'm kind of apprehensive about adding gear score brackets because I don't want the player base to split anymore, because I think we're in a good spot, especially now with the random HR lobbies. The HR map being completely random is a really nice way to consolidate players and, you know, minimize the amount of queues. I realize that everybody wants to be able to select their own map. Trust me, I do too. I would love to be able to select my own map. I'd love to select Goblin Caves every time for high roller, but alas, you know, I can't. And it does seem like Goblin Caves has a lower % chance, despite it being, you know, quote unquote random when it rolls, than the other two maps. It seems like I get crypts all the time, but I guess that's better than getting ice caves all the time, am I right? Even though I could play it and stomach all maps, find on all maps, and even if I die, I wouldn't cry about the map being to blame for my death, even though, you know, I would love to do that, but I try not to. I do find it, you know, it's a feasible solution. It's a smart solution, and it works for the time being. If the player base booms a little bit, maybe we could add more of a selection. But for now, with the current player base, I think this is a very smart choice. It is helping the game feel more alive despite the lower player base. Alright, everybody, that's all I have for you today. Appreciate you guys so much for watching my stuff, and there was a few of you that were asking, like, you know, where am I at, where have I been, etc., etc., and that kind of prompted me to make this kind of video. wasn't many of you, but there was enough of you, you know. I'm honored that people, you know, like my content. And, yeah, because again, I made it as a purely a hobbyist. I made stuff that I would find fun to watch and enjoy. I've never earned a cent from YouTube up to this date. You know, if the game turns good and maybe I monetize the channel and start making some like gas money, some grocery money or something from it, nothing too crazy I expect, but you know, I have a full-time job, so I'm not really trying to like make crazy amounts of money from YouTube or dark and darker content creation. But and also, you know, I don't want it to crazy influence my content. I don't want to be like I have to meet a quota or something to continue some kind of ad flow or revenue flow. I just purely made it for the love of the game. So naturally, when my love of the game dried up, I stopped making content. But I love the game. It's rebounding a little bit with the changes, and it's been a while. So I'm having a great time. I look forward to making content on the game as long as the game's in a good and healthy state and is fun. You know, so that's all I got for you today. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks for always being there. This is zeplore signing off. I'll see you either on my stream over on Twitch or in the next YouTube video. See ya.